and welcome to Nurse Amy Academy. I am Nurse Amy. Thank you for tuning in. And today we're going to talk about something that's really, I think I should really make sure that you guys really get this. Okay, so on my video, on my YouTube channel, I do have videos. However, in this day that I teach right now, those videos are kind of, you could say dated, but this is what I tell my students. Even though right now, the skills that you have kind of they are combined skills, it doesn't change the way you do the skills. Does that make sense? So say for instance, you have, let's just pick up, which should I pick up? Bedpan. Now the bedpan skill is still going to be the bedpan skill. The only thing that's been added to it now is you're going to do your hand washing at the end of bedpan. Does that make sense? So you're still going to go in and do your bedpan skills. And then at the end of the bedpan skills, you are going to do your hand washing. And I think I've put up some videos that explains this. Now, the reason why I haven't come up with, I know guys, I know my, why don't you have your videos? Why it's there's just some kind of delay because right now I didn't have a place where I can actually put those videos in a nice way for you guys, but soon you're going to be seeing it. I'm also going to have my ebooks out, my online courses, things like that I've been working on, so please just bear with me. But the videos on my YouTube channel helps. It still works. Students are using it and they're passing because certain things just remain the same. They do not change. The only thing that's changed is they combine skills together. Before, the skills that I have on now, we needed to indicate that we washed our hands. Now we actually have to wash our hands for certain skills. In other skills, we have to wear the PPE, right? So we have done all of that. Something I want to talk about today, if I'm looking down, just looking at my notes, is what I'm going to call usual suspects. If you've passed through my class or my one-on-one training, you will understand I use the word usual suspects. And that actually is informed by a movie that I've watched in the past. It's called The Usual Suspects. Again, if you know me, you know my background is filmmaking. So I tend to bring some filmmaking type stuff into my training. That is what I do. That's Nurse Amy, okay? So, before I go right into it, if you do not know this by now, I do have another YouTube channel called Glam Care Academy where we talk about business. We talk about starting businesses. We talk about things that you can do outside of the nursing, CNA field, healthcare field, how to start a business from scratch, okay, how to build credit, what are the things that you can do, thinking outside the box. Just that is what Glam Care is all about. Glam Care is also me going on my journey of starting my aesthetic practice, owning a med spa, and you can come along on the journey. So please go ahead and check that YouTube channel. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. And so let's get right into usual suspects. So my usual suspects. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call all the things I'm going to be talking about today as usual suspects. When I'm teaching in class, though, my usual suspects are things that, there are three main things that you need to bring with you to the bedside. Your trash can, your soiled linen hamper or the hamper, and also a barrier for the table, which could be anything from, usually a medium-sized towel is what I use, but you can use a big towel if you want. But the reason why I'm doing that is just to show off. Does that make sense? Because again, I teach you to pass. I teach things that would make them root for you. Things that, the way I teach, because I'm a registered nurse, I know things that would impress me. Okay, so when I teach my CNAs, I'm teaching you things that would impress other registered nurses. Okay, so the usual suspects are the trash can, the hamper, and also the barrier that I put on the table. The reason why I put the barrier there, now there's students are like, oh, it's not in the book. No, it's not in the book. The thing I'm teaching you is me looking out, thinking outside the box. I want you to impress them. I want them to root for you, because you need to understand this. When you're doing your CNA skill, your state CNA skills, every skill you have to pass 80 and above. I can promise you right now, you're not going to know all the skills. And you're probably not going to score 80 in all of them. But we're trying to circumvent that, right? We're trying to find a way where the person that is observing you is on your corner, right? So you want to pass, right? Okay, so that's what we're doing. So another thing that I do teach is rule of thumb. Usually when you're by the bedside, you want to be raising that bed. Now, not everybody raises the bed. However, I teach you to cover all your bases, to cover your butt. Does that make sense? Hopefully I can say the word butt, B-U-T-T. But to cover all your bases. And that's what I do. So what I do is when you're by the bedside, because safety is a big thing, you want to make sure you raise the bed. Now, the thing about raising the bed and lowering the bed, I tell my students this, and now I'm sharing it with you. You make sure raising the bed is the last thing you do before you start your skills. What do I mean by that? So before you go running and raising your bed and then you realize, oh, wait, I don't have the soap. Oh, I don't have enough towels. Oh, guess what? Ugh, I don't have, I don't know. I don't have my gloves. I don't know why you wouldn't have your gloves on, but make sure before you raise the bed that you have all your supplies around you. You want to make sure you have the table set up. If you look at my videos, you'll see how organized I am. I don't like clutter. Clutter clutters up my brain and gets me confused. It makes me angry, okay? So I declutter. I don't like my table clutter. So usually if you look at my videos, I arrange all those the items, the supplies in the order that I need them. Now, not everyone is going to do that. Some people just won't. I can talk from now until I'm blue in the face and people are still going to do what they're going to do. That's fine, as long as it works for you. But I arrange them, my supplies in the order I'm going to need them. Okay, so let raising the bed be the last thing you do, meaning after you have all your supplies around you, you make sure you have your usual suspects, the hamper, the trash can, the barriers on the table. I've arranged everything. Now I'm going to raise the bed. Nice, right? You make sure when you're raising the bed, please use proper body mechanics. Okay, do not bend at the waist. They look at those things and they're going to ding you. So make sure you bend at the knees. So raise the bed. So another thing, again, I'm teaching you to pass. These are tricks, okay? Wherever you raise the bed, the opposite side, as long as there's a side rail, have that side rail up. Does that make sense? So what that means is, going along the lines of raising the bed last, you want to make sure you peek aside. Okay, so once I have my supplies, I see everything all sorted out, I'm fine, I'm okay, I've got my PPE. If PPE needs to be on, first of all, you need to have your PPE on before you go into the room. I already did a video about that, or check it out. You just make sure you have everything set up. Then make sure the opposite side where you're going to be standing, where you're going to be doing your skill, if it has a side rail, go ahead and raise it up. And then come around and then raise the bed. Don't raise the bed and then your opposite side rail isn't up. Guess what? Your patient has rolled over, your patient has fallen, your patient is hurt. Those are things those registered nurses are going to be looking at. Okay, so you make sure the opposite side rail is up. Okay, then raise the bed. Make sure now bringing the bed down, let that be the first thing you do after you're done with your skill. So let's say I'm doing partial bed bath. Okay, after I've done everything, my patient is okay. I've cleaned their face, their arm, their hands, their pit, what have you. So I've made them comfortable. Everything is up. I'm like, okay, the first thing now, I'm not going to move away from the bed. I'm going to take the bed down. So that's what I meant by, or that's what I mean by, make sure raising the bed is the first thing. Raising the bed is the first thing. Oh my God. Okay, let me get my thoughts together because I've been videoing, I've been recording I've done I batch record. So raising the bed should be the last thing you do before your skill, and taking the bed down is the first thing you do after your skill, because safety is very, very important. Part of your closing, I don't care if you did the perfect skill. The hair is nice. The bed covers are good. Patient is aligned and centered in bed. Those are things that I say. Again, it sounds good. It shows you're professional. It shows you know what you're doing, okay? You're not sloppy. People don't like sloppy. People don't like careless. I always tell my students this. If you don't care, they don't care. I tell my students this also. I cannot care more than you do. That's just too much work. So part of your closing, leave the call light and push the curtain back. It doesn't matter in what sequence you do it. You can push it back, give them the call light, or give them the call light and push the curtain. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is you just make sure you're handing them the call light before you leave the room. At the beginning of your skill, make sure you give them privacy. Privacy is important. Privacy, safety, infection control, okay? What else? But those three are very important, okay? So you make sure before you start your skill, give them privacy. Actually, putting privacy curtain for me, the way I teach it, just so you don't forget, I do it before I go to get my supplies. Once I come in, I introduce myself, I'm leaving the room to get the supplies, I pull my privacy curtain, just so I don't forget. And then before I end the skill, I'm going to hand them the call light and then push the privacy curtain, and then I'm done. Hopefully you got value here. Hopefully you understand what I've said so far. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to leave your comments down below. If you want to reach me privately, you can write to me at nurseamyacademy@gmail.com, or you can DM me actually on my Instagram page, Nurse Amy Academy. You know, that way I'm going to reach you. If you need private tutoring to pass your CNA school program, or to pass your STNA exam, which that's how we call it in the state where I'm teaching, let me know, okay? I do private tutoring. I can always help you out. My job I take very seriously is to make sure you pass. These are things that I've given to my students, and it's helping them. I mean, my students are passing, so thank God for that. So before I sign off, please remember to visit Glam Care Academy if you're into business, entrepreneurship, and how to just advance, have multiple streams of income. It's very important, you know. Give me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell and keep coming back. Share my videos, okay? I know these videos help people. There are people watching my videos to teach, and that's fine. It doesn't, just if any clarification, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. So until I come your way again, be safe, be blessed, and be kind.